everyone, I'm Ajanette Oberg and I am your instructor for Psych 121 Human Development covering the lifespan. And so I'm going to go over your syllabus today, and then you can watch this video for kind of a brief overview of what's expected in the course. So first of all, you're going to find your syllabus in the Blackboard shell, and you'll have a link that says syllabus information where you can access a Word document, and you can also access the video that you're watching now. As the Word document opens, you're going to be able to see me and my contact information. This is my home number, which I'm usually at my home number on Mondays and Fridays, but I am teaching a class over the summer on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays out at San Alejo. So that's where I will predominantly be on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If you need to get in touch with me on the weekends or on Friday, this is the best time. Just please be courteous when you're reaching out to me by phone and be mindful of the times that you're calling. I'm not a night owl. I am kind of getting old. And I do have young children at home. Messages aren't reliable. The best way to communicate with me is always via email. So please use my email as best as possible. And keep in mind that you might think something's like really stressful, like an exam ends up causing problems or your internet goes out or whatever. That's okay. Don't stress. Shoot me an email and I promise you I will reset it. So a little bit about my teaching philosophy. What we're going to look at this class is kind of how we change over the course of our lifetime. And here's your required textbook, Jeffrey Arnett, Human Development, Life Span Approach. And I don't know, it's not my favorite, or excuse me, a cultural approach. It's not my favorite textbook. I do like the multicultural view that he offers, but the writing in and of itself isn't as enjoyable as some other textbooks have been, but it is a mandated textbook. We all use the same textbook. Feel free to use the first edition. There is a second edition available, but the first edition is more cost effective, so go ahead and use the second edition. That's fine. Also, a little description about our course. So we're going to look at different domains, and domains are specific areas of development. We're going to look at physical, cognitive, social, and emotional development, how we change over our entire lifespan, and what we call developmental periods. And so that's a period of time throughout the lifespan. We break things up in terms of prenatal, neonatal, infancy, toddlerhood, early childhood, middle childhood, and then adolescence, early adulthood, middle adulthood, and late adulthood. And then we're going to learn about emerging adulthood as well in this class. So this is usually the section most people are most interested in. How do I get my grade? The bulk of your grade is going to come from your exams. However, you will have, in our very first few days together, in that first week, you're going to have what I call introductory activities. So you have a syllabus quiz to make sure that you are in fact reading this document, because this is in fact our contract for the course. I'm agreeing that this is what the rules are, and you're agreeing that you're going to adhere to the rules. And then any kind of policies that are outlined in the syllabus give me the rights as an instructor to drop you, or they explain what are the requirements for students. So really read this, because this is our contract between each other. And then if I modify the syllabus, I usually will not add anything to, but I do reserve the right to cancel activities if needed. But that really doesn't happen in online, so keep that in mind. Don't get your hopes up. That being said, you do have a lot of work in this class. So we cover 13 chapters. For each chapter, there's what I call a text assignment, and that is a chapter assignment that guides your reading. So while you're reading the chapter, I have you, it's a Word document. It outlines terms, questions, compare and contrast, or define this or explain this. And those questions really help guide your reading so that you know what content you should focus on over the reading. Additionally, they are your study guides for your exams. So I don't provide study guides, but if you've done a very thorough text assignment, you're going to have a study guide at your disposal when taking the exams. Given exams are the larger portion of your grade, almost half of your grade, then obviously I want to give you tools to do well in that area. Learning activities are blogs that I have you do where you're going to dive in a little deeper on a particular theory or concept. I do a lot of kind of applied information or activities, and so I want you to look into the world and kind of see how these concepts and theories might have evolved around you, and I want you to identify those things. And the learning activities really let you dive a little deeper, and there's a lot of personal application. And some students don't like to divulge personal information, or they don't like to relate concepts to their own life or to their own experiences. This is a human development class. This class is really about us, and that's kind of the way I teach. So if that's uncomfortable for you, I may not be the best fit for you as an instructor, and I would encourage you to maybe look into another option. Otherwise, if you're willing to embrace that, it really helps you learn the material in a more meaningful way. And so I would encourage everyone to really embrace that application component and recognize that there's great opportunity for us to learn about ourselves and the people that we know and love around us through this course. Life application blogs aren't about a specific theory or concept. Rather, you get to identify key terms, concepts, or theories that really popped out in the chapter or the module for you. Said, hey, that relates to this. Or, you know, sometimes you're in class and little light bulbs go on and hands start popping up because they want to share stories about how it applied to their lives somehow, or how someone they knew experienced it. And the life application blogs are that same opportunity in an online environment where we get to kind of share key terms, concepts, and theories that really are related directly to our lives. You direct it. So in learning activities, I give you a specific topic that you have to dive deeper on, do an activity with, or some applied activity. And then life application blogs, you get to decide what concepts and terms you're going to apply to your own life. So learning activities, you do 1 per chapter, 13 chapters, they're worth 10 points each. Life application blogs, you do 1 per module, and they are worth 10 points each. So I do teach the class in learning modules. A learning module is essentially just chapters grouped together. The first module is going to kick your butt, okay? There's 3 chapters, plus you have the introductory activities. So you will already be like 20% through the course by the time you're done with week 1. It's going to really kick your butt, so be prepared for that. But I do that early so that the rest of the module, or the rest of the summer session, is just a little bit more relaxed. Now we're covering the entire lifespan in 6 weeks. So be prepared to work fast and work hard, okay? And the second module is going to cover just 2 chapters, and as I mentioned, every other module thereafter will only cover 2 chapters. Your next hardest module will be our last week together, because not only do you have the regular chapter and module work, but you also have the final exam. I am doing all of our exams through Blackboard. So each exam for the modules is 50 points, times 6 is 300 points. And then your final exam is going to be worth 100 points. Your final exam is cumulative, and it's based on theories. So it's really important that you know your theories. And you're going to learn these throughout the chapter. I emphasize them in the text assignments. Most of your learning activities are centered around theories, but I want you to really focus on theories. And by theories, I mean Freud's psychosexual theory of development, Erikson's psychosocial theory of development, Bronfenbrenner's ecological theory. You're going to learn about Piaget and cognitive development. You're going to learn about Vygotsky. You're going to learn about Kubler-Ross. You're going to learn about Baumann's parenting styles. You're going to learn about Holland's personality styles. You're going to learn about different intelligence theories. So you're going to learn about these different theories. And they're all different perspectives on how we develop into the individuals we are today. And so I want you to be familiar with those theoretical perspectives. Okay, so that's kind of the general basis of where your grade comes from. I do fall into a standard. These are just points. Keep that in mind. Blackboard is just a storage house for your points. I don't calculate your grade in Blackboard. So I don't care what Blackboard tells you in terms of what grade you have. Don't worry about that. I look at how many points at the end of the term do you have, divide by 750, and boom, that's your grade. If you fall into the 90% range, it's an A, 80 to 89 is a B, so on and so forth. So do look up your grades in Blackboard. I also post comments about why you may have received point deductions, or I give you little comments about your grades. So look in the My Grades link on a regular basis just to see how, and I'll post announcements when I'm done grading. So just to see how I may have commented on your grades, particularly life application blogs. If I deduct points, you know, it helps you so you can improve for the next time. So some basic goals and objectives are institutional learning outcomes, program learning outcomes, student learning outcomes, and just some performance objectives. Read through those. This gives you now a little bit more in-depth description of each of the activities that we talked about. Text assignments, they're graded on a credit, no credit basis. If you just do them, I give you the points. I don't really check for accuracy, which is an advantage in that, you know, some people don't feel like they need to add as much depth. That's fine. But it's a disadvantage because if you have the wrong answer, it could maybe mislead you on the exam. So just know there is some level of autonomy needed when doing those assignments. And you cannot get an A without doing those assignments. So keep that in mind as well. Also, if you don't get A's on all your exams, but you do all your text assignments and all your other work, and you've done well on the other work, you can still get an A in the class. So it's really meant to kind of strengthen your grade, because I don't want just exams to be the basis of your grade. Learning activities, again, they're in modules. Some of them are collaborative. So just follow the instructions for each activity. They all have different kind of topics and so on and so forth. We already talked about life application blogs. And then there's some extra credit opportunities. You can do an empirical article critique. You can do an interview or a naturalistic observation. If you're not happy with some of your exam scores, I'll give you another opportunity to make that up. Then service learning is really important to me throughout the summer. B in our service learning department might have community opportunities. This is more than just volunteering. This is actually relating what you're doing in the community back to our course. So you will write a reflection. You'll highlight the main ideas, how it relates to our course. You can also develop a sex ed website and do some sex education, and I have some assignment descriptions in Blackboard for that. Again, your exams are in Blackboard. There's one exam at the end of each module, 6 modules, and then your final exam is cumulative. All of these will be administered through Blackboard, so keep that in mind. Final extra credit is if you attend outside workshops that might be helpful. Not as much available during the summer, but if the writing workshop has something, or writing center has something, or you attend something on, you know, a career fair or something of that nature, I'm happy to give you extra credit points for that. Some important course dates, how to communicate with me, as I mentioned, email's the best. Make sure you put our section number in the email. That's really, really important. I have multiple classes even during summer. I need to be able to know it's you. And then some other resources that can help you succeed, including your textbook, our writing center, DSPS, health services, and then some basic policies. Keep in mind, attendance for an online class is in fact submitting and participating in the activities and work. If you're not doing that, that's considered an absence and you're eligible to be dropped. You need to retain all your stuff. Be polite and courteous to your peers. Show some just some common decency, respect alternative viewpoints. Don't plagiarize, and we should be fine. So You read all the black and white details, and I will look forward to getting to know you in the course.